Hello, everyone. Welcome today to today's StreamYard. We have best ways to farm a San Diego neighborhood for listing. So this is for our agent audience out there. If you're not an agent, you're more than welcome to stick around and hear the tips and tricks that we're gonna be giving today to our agents out there. So I'm Santiago Garin, and Roxanne will be joining shortly to tag along and give us some more of her tips. But how do we farm in the San Diego neighborhood? What can we do? So let's start with the definition of farming. What is farming? Basically farming for us agents here in San Diego. I mean, probably all agents out there is to you know get some repeated business in a specific area. So making sure that you're having flyers, you know, any type of advertisement that you do in a specific area. This to kind of grow your presence in the area. It could be, for example, here in San Diego, it could be like a cul-de-sac, a pocket of houses of 100, 200 houses. Maybe you're specific to North County, North County area, South County, East, West, PB area, Del Mar, University Heights, the list goes on and on. So how do you agents, get out there? What are the most efficient ways? What are the best ways? I'll start off by saying that, a way that might work for me might not work for another agent out there, but there could be something that works for you that might not work for me. So I recommend all agents out there who are trying to learn and you know, farm their new neighborhood or upcoming neighborhood is to try different things, try different methods of trying to get leads, try different approaches, try and get to the point that you know what works best for you. If it's, you know, giving calls to a specific area or actually going door by door in an area. So this brings me up to one of the first points that I would, you know, give you guys for farming an area is door knocking. Door knocking is very important. It's one of the most important aspects of, you know, having a farm. Going door by, it doesn't necessarily have to be, actually door knocking, but dropping off flyers, printing out 200, 300 flyers and go around each house and basically introduce yourself. Have a flyer made that, highlights the previous business you've done, how many years you've been in the business. If you're new, doesn't matter. Just kind of like an introduction. Maybe give them something of value, maybe a notepad or a pen, something that can prompt them to shoot you a call. So definitely door knocking is something very important. And look, here we got Roxanne to tag along and join us in our on our best
Hello,
ways to
hello.
farm.
How's it going?
Good, good, good. Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, I was just talking about the one of the first things that I'm talking about on the best ways to farm is door knocking. I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah, I mean, I also point out that some things could work for some agents that could work for us, the same way that something could work for them that doesn't work for us. But it's always good to, dip your toe on everything, you know, to
Totally.
find out exactly what you can be successful in. So with the door knocking, I was explaining, if you're a new agent, some flyers with some information about yourself, basically getting your face out there is very important. Maybe give them something of value, a pen, whatever it is. So
Yeah, totally. So door knocking is definitely, I think
yeah,
even within the farm, uh, there's multiple ways that you can farm.
yeah,
You can send flyers, you can send postcards, but at the end of the day, it comes down to relationships, and it comes down to people knowing you personally.
yeah,
So the more involved that you get in the neighborhood, the more you're increasing your chances of getting business. So you can be holding open houses. You can be You can be sponsoring a soccer game. You can go to a local coffee shop and uh, get to know people there. You can throw in events. You can do garage sales. You can do charity events. You can do food drives. Any
Yeah.
of those activities within the farm will get you out there and will get you basically connected to the people on a personal level, and that will increase your chances of being able to successfully farm the neighborhood. Um,
100%.
I do think that it's important to farm a neighborhood that has a good turnover rate, right?
Yeah.
And let's go. I mean, everybody's MLS is different, but let's go and talk about that. Um, that difference within the neighborhood, right? So
Yeah.
we were looking at Del Mar. So let's go and look at Del Mar as one of the areas. So I'm going to take out and and let's say we want to look at residential styles being detached homes, right?
Mhm.
So if I'm trying to basically find sold homes within the Del Mar area. Okay, and if I do a search, I'm gonna pull 66 homes, right? But if I want to basically locate those homes um, on the map and
Yeah.
then figure out, okay, what is the areas where there is more turnover rates, right? You can see there is there's 2 homes sold here, 3 homes sold here, but 16 homes sold here and 14 homes sold here.
Yeah.
So we definitely have more turnover rates in these two areas, very little turnover rate here, right? So we most likely want to concentrate our activities in these areas rather than in these areas where there's not a whole lot of activity taking place. That being said, I'm very curious why there's not so much activity here. I'm looking to see, is it price? Because it looks like, okay, this home is 3 million over here. Let's see. These homes are actually um, also get closer to it. And so 2.6 million, 2.9 million. So not very pricey homes,
Yeah.
whereas over here you're getting a lot more pricey homes, I guess. Let's look at this one. So, yeah, see, this one is at 5 million, of course, because it's closer to the
Yeah.
water,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
But there's just a lot more activity and turnover in these areas than we have a little bit further back. And I would imagine, I would be thinking that it's actually the reverse, but you know,
Yeah.
you just have to look at the data and based on the data, make your decision on where you would want to set your farm to be.
100%.
And so yeah.
So getting that farm is very important. I kind of explained it earlier before you joined, what exactly is a farm. So, everyone knows what they're hearing
So
about. So,
maybe let me ask you this. Now let me ask you a question.
yeah.
Why would you choose farming?
Well, in my opinion, farming, I would want to get, my face out there. I would want the people to recognize me in that area.
Hmm.
Because at the end of the day, people work with the people they see, that they know. So you want to be out there. Also, you know, you never know when you come across someone that's ready to sell and they see your name first, and that's all it takes. So.
Now, the reason why I'm thinking of farming is because farming is steady money. If you're farming in an area and you're consistently putting your name and your face out there,
Yes.
then people are going to start to get to know you. Like you said, you're branding yourself, and branding yourself like that means that when they're thinking of moving, they're going to be thinking of you, and so there's more consistency and assurance that they're going to work with you. Therefore, if you're working, um, let's say, with your sphere
Mhm.
of influence, right? Then your sphere, they know you, they like you, and they trust you, but they may not live in the same geographic area as you. So if you're going and you want to work with your sphere, you may be going all over the place,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Whereas if you choose to farm, then you have an assurance that you're going to work within a certain geographic area, and
Hmm.
that's the geographic area that you chose to work on,
Yeah.
and you chose to build your farm in. So there's a little bit more predictability in terms of where you're going to get most of your business.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense.
So, and frankly, it's also a lot easier to do business, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're farming with like close to your home, then all you have to do is just roll out of your driveway and go to the neighbor, across the street or next door down. Whereas if you're working with your sphere, you may be living on one part of the town and they may be living at the other part of the town. So
Yeah.
there's a lot more effort that you have to make to sell their house if
Yeah.
they're not right next to you.
Yeah. Yeah. And how big would you say to have your farm be? Should it be 200, 100 houses? You know.
So, an average agent sells about 7 homes per year.
Okay.
So if you want to be above average, right? You then want to be about 12 to 14 homes a year, like double that, right?
Yeah.
So if you're at that double number, and they say between 7 and 10% of your database transacts per year. So you either go one way or you go of the other way. So 14 transactions, right?
Hmm.
14 transactions times uh, uh, times 100%, right? Because 10%, let's say 10% transact. So what's the whole entire
Of how,
number?
how many again?
So you want to have 14 transactions and 10% transact per year.
So
So
you need
how
like 140.
big does your farm need to be?
140.
1,400.
1,400?
Yeah. So 140 times 10%, 14. Okay.
Yeah,
I think you're
140.
right.
Yeah, 140.
So, except that I think that number might be too high.
Yeah, for I
So
mean 10
140
percent
times
seems kind of
7%.
kind of high.
10% is probably high.
I'd
Yeah,
probably say
yeah.
like 8%.
So okay, so I would say seven. So at first I was like between 7 to 10%. So let's be more conservative. So let's say 7%. So 7%, then um then you're better at calculating this. How big does your database need to be
For
times
you to get how
seven
many?
percent?
14?
Yeah,
So basically double. So you would need we said 140 was the first one.
so
So
about
280.
300, 280, or 300, three
Yeah.
hundred. Now,
Yeah.
if you ask me, my comfort level would be 400 homes.
Yeah.
400 homes, and 400 homes times 7%, then that should give you a good number of homes.
Yeah.
You know, but here's the deal. In order to get that many deals out of 400 homes, you really need to work them. They
Yeah.
need to know you. They need to think of no one but you if they're thinking of buying or selling a house.
Yeah.
So, and given how much information and data is in front of us at every given moment, if you're sending one postcard per month, that's not enough touches,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So, and I would say they need to know you personally, and
Yeah.
they need to also like you. They need to trust you. They need to think of you as their ambassador in order to for the magic to happen, for them to pick up the phone and call you or text you as the person that they want to work with.
Maybe go to some events in that area too.
Exactly, exactly. If there are charities in the area, if they're uh, you know games or schools sponsor the school event or any of that would put you in front of the people in the area and would increase your chances of getting business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So so yeah, and then let's also talk about branding, right? Let's talk about branding. Let's talk about digital presence.
Hmm.
So there is Nextdoor does a good job of basically getting in front of the neighbors. Facebook does a good job of getting in front of the neighbors. Uh, uh, TikTok and Instagram do a good job of getting in front of the neighbors. So you can do some neighborly videos and content that you put in front of the people in that area. They tend to follow you, and that would produce some traction. We talked about door knocking. We also want to talk about branding, right? And when it comes to branding, uh, to constantly be giving the same information is really, really important. So let's say you do a food drive. So not only you're putting out your food. Let's say you put your bags in front of people's doors, but then make sure that goes on social media. Make sure that you post that on your story that you're doing a food drive. Make sure that you do it on as a reel that you're doing a food drive. Make sure that you put it on Nextdoor, telling people that, hey, I'm doing a food drive from street A to street B, so putting all of that in there also helps you to put your branding out there. We have a comment from Terry, and Terry's telling us to another good source is inhere.com, and I'm going to visit that and see where it is. So In Here is the platform that transforms the entire experience, making it easy and safe to start, track, notarize, and close on your next real estate transaction. Very interesting. Thank you, Terry. We have not heard of that, but let's see if I scroll through what I find out about that website. Let me go ahead and share, because it's not one that I'm familiar with. So let me go ahead and share that and see what we see on this website and about it. So In Here, future real estate. Okay. Process of purchasing, selling, and refinancing a property has remained largely unchanged until now. Started here. Digital opening packages, part of the In Here experience platform for residential transactions only. And then track it in here. mobile first transparent transactions, closing here, intuitive guided closing and digital signing. Enjoy a reimagined real estate transaction when you work with these leading title companies. Interesting. Okay, well, another service that we have to look into and see if it's one that benefits our buyers and sellers. So
Yeah,
thank you, Terry, for that information and for making a suggestion. So always love to learn new things, and there we are. It's a
we'll
new
definitely
thing
check it out.
that we get to check out. So, is there anything else that you think we need to
Mm,
tell our audience?
I think with farming, I mean, we did cover with branding, with door knockings, presents. I think we covered a decent amount. Can't really think of anything else. I think that's basically the maybe calling specific area, like, you know,
Yeah,
getting phone numbers of an area, you know.
absolutely, absolutely. You can call to the people in the neighborhood to get to know them. You can, we're going into the fall season. There's a lot that you can do in the fall season. You can give pumpkins away. You can give pies away for Thanksgiving. You can do pictures with Santa in December. So there's definitely a lot of opportunities that we have that we can bank on and engage people within the neighborhood for sure.
100%. Yep.
All right, very good. Well, then let's go ahead and share our information in case anybody wants to get a hold of us. So if you are trying to get a hold of me, there is my phone number. And if you are trying to get a hold of Santiago, there
Right
is
there.
his phone number. And of course, we love to engage with you. So if you are watching us on Facebook, please give a follow to my name. Or if you are on Instagram, then please give a follow on Instagram to us. And there is our website. You can also reach us on our team email, which is my email. And other than that, we always appreciate wherever you are. We appreciate your business. We appreciate your referrals. Wherever within the United States, we're happy to help and be a resource for you. And if you are watching us on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up and also give us a follow so that as we are posting new videos, you get to hear about those videos and you can join us. And thank you again for watching.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week.